let's go ahead and cut the end right here. One of the things that I do before I cut the door for the barbecue pit is I put some plate on the inside. Now I have a plasma table, so I cut some plates that contour the pipe itself, right? But if you don't have a plasma table, you can just get a piece of a 1 inch by 1/8 of an inch flat bar and you can put it on the inside. Now this helps a little bit. It doesn't help a lot, but it does help the door from warping whenever you cut it, you know. That way when you put it back together, it seals a lot better. So what I do is I go ahead and put it right at the halfway point. This will be on the inside right here, one over here and one over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark it, and I'm gonna go ahead and tack weld it on the inside. I'm gonna show you. All right, so the pit overall's measurement is 24 inches. So all I did right here is I pretty much just measured up to the halfway point right there. So that's 12. I went 5 inches from the end right there and 5 inches. You can separate it, you know, however you want to. You can put it at the halfway point. But these plates right here, they're gonna go on the inside. So you have to go ahead and mark the inside right here. See right here, I got my mark for one for the middle and then the one in the end. And this right here, you could see it right there is my door and right on the halfway point. So as long as you put them in there, you should be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack them and we'll look at it. What I did is I went ahead and measured with my tape measure right here on the inside. And I just made a line on top and on the bottom, right? Kind of eyeballing where the halfway point there is for the door. And I just marked it on top and on bottom. Now, I want to be straight right here. So what I did is I just put one down here. And then since the pipe is level, I just put my level right here and I you know, drew a line that way. That way they can be matching. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and tack them before I go ahead and cut the door. Alright, so now all you wanna do is just make sure you're somewhat square, you know, with the pipe itself. It looks like it needs to come this way a little bit. Are installed, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and cut the door. And the process to cut the door, this is how I do it. Again, everybody does it differently. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the top side right here. I'm gonna go all the way across and I'm gonna bring it down some. I'm not gonna cut the entire door because if I do that, it's gonna fall off and then I'm gonna have problems trying to put it back up. So what I do is after I cut this section, I'll go ahead and add the first section of flat bar right here. Once I do that, I go ahead and put my hinges in. Once your hinges are installed, you can go ahead and pretty much cut it however you want to, right? Because it's not gonna fall off anymore. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and cut the door open. You wanna use a straight edge. I made this homemade device right here. I just put some holes and a magnet and you basically put it on there and you can lean your torch, but you can use angle, wood, whatever it is that you have on your hands to make a straighter cut. You got your top line cut, you can remove your straight edge, right? Now, we are gonna go ahead and put that flat bar on the top side right here. But we have to cut some going down, maybe about 2 inches, 1.5 inches, just enough so it won't be in your way, so that way you can mount that flat bar and you can mount your hinges, and then that way the door's not going to be flying all over the place. Okay, so I finally got my line cut, and I went down about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Now the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it up just a hair, and I'm going to lay the flat bar on top, and then we can go ahead and measure out for the hinges. Pretty much all I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right in the middle right here, and then I'm going to separate 1/2 inch. You can measure it if you want to, you know, that way you'll be a little bit more accurate, and you know, you don't put it too far off, down or up. Put 3 small tacks right here. You can make it pretty at the end. You can measure out and stitch weld it. You know, that'll look a lot better. But all I'm doing right now is just getting it ready. So I'm going to put my hinges. Let me show you the hinges that I got. So these are the hinges that I'm going to put on there. I cut it with the plasma table. Again, you don't have to use these right here. You can also buy any hinge from any welding supply store, steel supply store. They'll have them, but these look a little bit nice, so I'm going to be putting these on. All I'm going to do is I'm going to separate them. So the pit measures 24. I'm going to go ahead and put it at 6 inches from the outside in and 6 inches from the other side in, and that's where we're going to be putting our hinges pretty much. So you can measure 6 inches, and that'll be your center or whatnot, or that could be your edge. It really doesn't matter. You can just go off of one. I'm gonna make 2 lines so that I can make a straight line on it. I'm gonna go ahead and use this wraparound just as a guide. That's gonna help me put my hinges straight, since I'm using, you know, cut plate or whatnot. As long as I put it within this line, I know that I'm gonna be pretty straight. You know, I'll do it on both sides here. Make sure you look at it. Make sure it looks straight. Sometimes if these are kind of kinked a little bit, you'll have problems whenever you open it. So try to keep them as straight as possible. All I'm going to do right now is I'm going to tack it, and that's it. Okay, so this is what we have right now. We have the hinges on there. Now, they're only tacked. I had a problem because I didn't have the bolts itself. So I had a hard time putting it on. Once you have the bolts and the nuts, it's a little easier. So, I mean, I still got them on. It's tacked. So what I'm going to do next is we're going to go ahead and work on these lids right now. I'm not gonna cut anything on the door yet. I'm gonna leave that till I'm finally done with the lids on the sides, the doors and all of that. This is time consuming, guys. It's not just like, you know, we're making a pit and we're done in a few hours. It takes a lot of work. I have to grind all that in, I have to clean it up, and then you have to weld it. But let me know what you guys think, and thank you for watching.